May profits be upon you. Welcome to another weekly Forex forecast. We're looking at the pound USD, the pound USD. We're looking at the monthly time frame. I'm not all that, I don't know. This isn't my favorite market to trade this week. Why? Because it's a little bit stronger than the euro. If depending on how you look at it, we had the lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, and this is a complicated, I mean, a complex pullback, but I have to still look at it as a corrective structure to the last impulsive move down. This looks like the pullback, all right, and yeah, we are going higher because if you divide uh, this trading range from this high to this low in half, you get your 50%, your equilibrium there. We're right up around 80% of the pullback, 85% even, maybe even 90%, maybe about 90% of this pullback. All right. That just on that alone, I'm starting to think, you gotta think we're pulling back pretty good. All right. We took out this liquidity high here, and then the market took a bit of a dump in July, and I want you to look at that dump. All right, what it is we engulf the previous candle, really good. All right, but we didn't see the follow through. That's what's putting me off a little bit. Also, this low didn't tap into this fair value gap. It is a bullish fair value gap. All right, and I'm going to mark it. All right, I'm going to mark it here. Boom. All right. The deal is it left behind these relative equal lows here. All right, at the entrance, at the top of this fair value gap. I'll mark it anyway, but you can see these lows here are going to. That's one of the strongest pulls or draws of liquidity are relative equal lows. If we go to the weekly, bear that in mind now. If we go to the weekly, I don't know why TradingView does that. All right, so we have the relative equal lows here. You can see this is the opening candle for the week ahead. All right, it's got a little bearish tint to it. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. All right, we had two bearish weeks. We have this bullish candle. It closed bullish, but it's an inside bar inside the high and low of this previous candle. All right. And again, like I had pointed out in the Euro USD, uh, there was an inside bar for this week, the same week. And when you see inside bars, it's usually at places where directions change. All right. From bullish to bearish or bearish to bullish. All right. So that's something to bear in mind. Last week, we closed well below the low of the previous week. That is a bearish indication. All right. And we also swept the sell side liquidity from the week prior here. All right. But we closed back within the overall sideways, what do you call it, consolidation range. All right. We closed back within it, but we did close well below that low. I'm expecting a open high, low close for this week coming. All right, maybe we may stay in consolidation. We may move to the left. I mean to the right in a sideways market. But I do believe that this draw, these two lows into this bullish fair value gap is real. I think we are drifting downwards towards it. I do. All right. Now, a close above that a close above the previous weekly high towards these ascending descending liquidity highs there could draw price up. Yeah, for sure. And that could be a draw. But because we had this move where we swept buy side liquidity, we failed to make a new swing high with this candle, and we saw the pull down afterwards, the drift down afterwards. I'm thinking that we're, that is the direction that the market is heading. Does that make sense? I think that's sensible, in my opinion. Okay, if we go down to the daily, all right, see the monthly fair value gap down here. All right, and again, if you look at this candle very closely, you'll see that we never ever hit that fair value gap. See that gap there? All right, so it's it's a strong draw. All right, and I like the fact that you can see the market after attempted to make a new high, failed to, respected this area of supply here and dropped hard, lower high, and the new order block forming right here, two up close candles with a stronger sell off. That is an order block, folks. And price traded back up into that order block, created a new order block, and we see a close below those lows. This is a market structure shift, in my opinion. And I'm thinking that we're going to see some continuation down to uh, that monthly fair value gap. I think that breakdown makes sense. Now, you see, I did some work there already. I'm going to erase all of that. Okay. All I wanted to point out was that is the reaction there to the let me do it this way. We got a reaction there to the supply area. You know, this is an order block here. We trade back up into it, never getting past the midpoint, the mean threshold of the order block of the of the order block here, the midpoint, and you see the engulfing candle here. All right, and then you see the follow through after that. I'm thinking, yeah, uh, we should be heading down. Okay. Uh, if price is to come back up and test that order block, I believe that this is where we'll find price. We'll find the resistance. If I can get you off of here now. Okay. All right. And inside of here, you'll find supply as well. And I believe price has already tapped that here. There's no fair value gaps, no bearish fair value gaps there, but we do have an area of supply there. If we go down to the lower time frame, we'll see just exactly what that is. Let's go to the 4 hour. You can see two candles up. We get a close down. Finally, we get a close below it. Two candles, three candles up. And then we get this one here as well. Price comes back up to it to test it. Yeah, I'm believing that this low will not hold. This low will go, and that price will probably do something like that. We could see as price trades into a bullish fair value gap here, we might see this liquidity high taken and maybe this liquidity high. But I believe it's just going to be this uh, liquidity high taken if one is taken, and we'll see price continue lower. All right, so uh, yeah, I'm thinking that a good setup on the pound, which doesn't look too bad on the lower time frames. I'll be honest with you, for bearish setups. I think we should be looking at something like this here. If you're not already in a short, I think this would be a good short, to be honest with you. And I'm not giving out signals, but think that is not a bad one. Uh, I like the fact that there was a liquidity event right there, with this last push higher into the bearish fair value gap here. All right. And this in itself is an area of supply. All right. Price pushes up into it and we get another area of supply. That's the way this works. It's just a supply chain. And price comes pushing back up into that, and we see the reaction so far. If you see this fair value gap fail, you know that we are well on our way. All right. I would love it to come back up here, or but it, what I love and what I want, it's not really important, is it? Uh, but that's just an idea. That is just an idea that I'm willing to share. All right. If we go to the daily, you see what we're looking at here. All right. There's no wick on top here. That's why I'm thinking that we're going to revisit this high again. There's no wick on top. Now, once price gives a close past that low, all right, that open, then we know we're probably heading further away, all the way down. All right. So don't be on some FOMO stuff. Not yet. It's too early for FOMO. Too early for FOMO, man. All right. This is just opening price and stuff. And we can see a whole lot of things happen here. Okay. It could hit here. We can go back up, take out that high, and then start heading down. But I'm looking for a market structure shift. A break below this is a market structure shift to the downside. All right, that it is plain as day. This is the market structure shift. This is the pullback. I'm looking for that kind of pullback. That's it. That's all I look for. All right, I will see you in the next video. I'm glad you tuned in this week. Thank you for watching. Make sure you hit the boost button and make sure you check out the other videos that I put out already, which is the euro, the US dollar index, and the US dollar and the and gold. All right, go check those out, and I'll see you in the next video. And again, thank you for watching. May profits be upon you.